Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Coaster Report. I hope you're all enjoying your evening. If you just found us, let me welcome you to the very first episode of our second season. This show has been running now since earlier this fall, and I'm glad to see we're back through the winter. Actually, let me clarify that quickly. I don't believe I've ever talked about how the show is structured before, so I'll do that briefly now. As you can tell, we just wrapped up our first season. That ran from September to November, or in other words, the fall season. That was season 1, though it was subtitled Fall 2025. Now that we've moved on to December, we've begun Season 2, or Winter 2026. Considering this season spans from December through February, it's more appropriate to name it after the year where more shows happen, aka 2026. On the other side of the year, when spring rolls around, March to May of next year will be coined Season 3, or Spring 2026. By process of elimination, summer fills in the gap, occupying June through August. Season 4, or Summer 2026, will run until the cycle repeats, starting Fall 2026 next September. This process will repeat annually. Shows will be roughly weekly, though a few will likely be missed. Considering each season is about 3 months long, that equates to about 10 to 12 shows per season, or 40 to 50 a year. Okay, now that we've taken care of that, let's get to tonight's main topic. Like I mentioned before, it's December. Now, for most, this means snow, the holidays, spending time with family, etc., etc. Usually it's not the time most are thinking about theme parks. People are too wrapped up in the season, no pun intended, and above all, it's too cold for both people and roller coasters right now. However, I suppose that's all irrelevant when you live in the Middle East. That's right, Six Flags Qiddiya will make its grand debut at the tail end of this month, the first day of operation being New Year's Eve. If you recall, last week I talked about Mr. Beast and his new theme park in Riyadh. Well, right next door, over in the newly developed tourist destination Qiddiya City, Six Flags is opening their first international park in decades. A record-breaking, industry-defining modern experience that will pave the way for what we see in the future of roller coasters. A bit of an odd time to open, sure, but consider the fact that this is in Saudi Arabia. Not only is it always hotter there, but the Saudi population is mainly composed of Muslims who don't celebrate any holiday this time of year, so it's nothing for them. So let's talk about this park. Like I mentioned before, this is the first park Six Flags has opened outside of North America since their failed European parks many years ago. The chain was very tentative to dip their toes in the foreign markets, and this is the first stab they've taken in years. Unlike the other attempts, this park is located in what's currently a hub of tourism and a growing spot for theme parks as well. The Middle East is a rapidly expanding region. Most notably, the two major cities in the UAE house some larger theme parks, but even smaller things like an indoor park in Qatar make up this region's newly developing coasterscape. However, even though this is a foreign park, that doesn't slow the Six Flags mindset. This park, when it opens, will host some of the most record-breaking coasters not only regionally but worldwide as well. Most notably, this park will be home to Falcon's Flight, the record-destroying world's first exit-coaster. This ride has been in discussion for over 5 years, so it's quite satisfying to see it finally come to fruition. Now, I've talked about this topic on the internet before, but I still find a difficulty in deciding whether or not this ride will kick off another coaster wars. Considering the fighting ceased after King Ka, we hadn't seen any record breakers at all in the time since then. Pioneers such as Intamin focused their resources on reshaping the industry around more compact and intense coasters. It's finally time they broke the cycle, though. Falcon's Flight will claim numerous records upon its opening, including world's tallest, fastest, and longest. Obviously, it will have quite the presence in the park. Not only does its signature 500-foot airtime hill dominate the skyline, but the layout itself circles one side of the park's perimeter, providing a view for entering guests fitting the grand scale of the park itself. Now, I keep talking about this ride, and rightfully so, but I think we need to pay the rest of the park's lineup a bit of mind. Colossus is another ride of note. Because of the extreme heat there, Middle Eastern parks tend to lack wooden rides. Every now and then, though, you'll see a park brave enough to build one. Colossus makes Six Flags Qiddiya one of those parks. There's also Iron Rattler, another tilt coaster, Sea Stallion, a Mara Spike coaster, those are the ones on cruise ships, Spitfire, an Intamin LSM multi-launch, and a few others. These will help contribute to the park's phenomenal-looking ride collection. The last thing I haven't mentioned yet is that the park will be broken up into 7 distinct areas, each of which having their own theme and design. The entire thing truly does look magical. Combined with the other parks opening in the Riyadh area, including one themed to Dragon Ball, the region is shaping up to be extremely promising in terms of theme parks. Obviously, though, there aren't too many enthusiasts who made their way to the center of the Arabian Peninsula just yet, so we don't have too much information or footage from here yet. Of course, I'll let you guys know as time goes on. But that's just going to about do it for tonight, so we'll see you all next week. This has been the Coaster Report. Good night.